Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Kelpins. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. It's all going to be about TTC, or in other words, trying to conceive. Today I won't share Blake and I's TTT story with you. We'll save that for another time. Today's about you guys. I'm going to kind of walk you through some things that I've learned through our months of trying, and hopefully it might help some of you out there too. The first tip I have for you guys is to get off birth control, of course. You want to be able to ovulate. You want to make sure that your body is definitely going through the normal cycle. And the best way to do that is to stop birth control, stop all of that. The next thing to do is start taking folic acid. They say to take it 3 months even before you start trying. I take the standard process folic acid. I don't know if you can see that. As well as some prenatal vitamins just in case. And a big plus of that is you can get nice long nails as well and hair. So you can prep for that baby, but also get that healthy pregnancy pre-glow, I guess you could say too. If you're finding that your cycles are irregular, I know mine were anywhere between like 31 to 35 days. The typical woman cycle is 28 days. So for me, I kind of learned throughout this process that my cycles could be 36 days 1 month, and then maybe 21 days even. So I researched on how to kind of mainstream my cycle, make it regular. And one thing that's really helped with that is Vitex. So before I go into this is not for everyone. Research it, ask your doctor before you take it. Sometimes it could even further mess up your cycles. For me, it has helped. So Vitex is a natural supplement. And for me, it's taken my 36-day cycles consistently to 28, 29-day cycles. So again, definitely works for me. If you know you have that regular cycle, then you can better determine when you're going to ovulate. The second thing that I've been taking with Vitex, kind of in tandem with it, has been myo-inositol. So it supports the reproductive health, supports healthy ovarian function. And I found with taking these two things, I definitely have less severe PMS, definitely more steady level hormones, I guess you could say. Blake would probably agree too. But also, again, I think these two have really helped regulate my cycle. Definitely research before you take this to ask a doctor. I definitely do not have a medical background, so make sure that this is right for you. I'm just kind of sharing what's helped me. Number 2. Track your cycle. You don't know when to baby dance if you don't know when you ovulate. And the best way to do that is to track your cycle. So you can download free apps like Glow, Ovia, Flow is a really good one too. I use Glow. It's what I've been using throughout this whole entire TTC journey, and it's worked for me. What goes along with that is ovulation tests. And this is more of a personalized way to kind of figure out, all right, if I don't ovulate in every cycle on the 14th day, which most women don't, when do I ovulate? So ovulation tests really help with that. It's a more personalized approach to figure out what that cycle is looking like for you. And this is the Clinical Guard. You can order these on Amazon. There's a whole packs of tests within this. This is kind of what they look like. And you'll start taking this on day 9 of your cycle. So each cycle starts with your period. So day 1 of your period, count 9 days from that. Start taking the ovulation tests then to kind of see where that ovulation will fall. For me, every cycle is different. So one cycle I might ovulate on the 18th, another one it might be on the 20th. So you kind of have to play it by ear. That's why it's great that these are so cheap. If you're really pee happy, you like to pee on all the sticks, which I certainly do. These are great for that because you can just take it, pitch it, and then move on with your day. Sometimes with these ovulation tests, you're going by 2 lines, meaning, positive for that LH surge, which is sometimes hard to tell. You might think, oh, this is my LH surge. I see the 2 lines, and then the next day it'll be even darker. So sometimes it is hard to tell. So for me, I actually use Clear Blue Fertility Monitor, and it's the touch screen, and it basically is an ovulation test. You'll, buy a box of, essentially this is the same thing on this test right here, but it'll tell you when your high days of fertility are, as well as your peak days. And when you get peak on this fertility monitor, it means that you will ovulate anywhere between 12 to 24, maybe even 36 hours later. So it gives you the perfect window of time for that exact month for you based on what it's detecting with that LH surge. I have heard these are really good for people with PCOS or people with irregular cycles. I know another thing that I use here in this box is the Ava bracelet, which I'll definitely do a review kind of comparing these two, because I got the Ava first, realized it wasn't the best for me because I do have irregular cycles and it's not so good with people with PCOS, where this definitely does work for people with PCOS. But with the Ava bracelet, it tracks your temp, your resting pulse rate, and a lot of other different things to kind of determine when you're ovulating. I found that these are a little finicky, but it is nice if you do like basal body temp. You don't have to wake up every morning and take your temperature. This takes out all that work for you. But I have noticed, just kind of working with this Clear Blue Fertility Monitor and the Ava, that this has been more accurate to determine my ovulation than the Ava has. And since I do use the Glow app, you can use the Clear Blue Fertility Monitor in tandem with the Glow app. There's even a place within the app where you can select that you've gotten high fertility or peak fertility with Clear Blue, where Ava is not app friendly. It's kind of on its own. You can't integrate it with anything else. So for me, this is just what works best. Again, like I said, if you do have irregular cycles, Clear Blue Fertility Monitor, as well as OvuSense, which I haven't used yet, haven't purchased that. I feel like this is enough for me for now. But this was like $300, which extremely expensive. I would save all you guys some time and money and just go for the Clear Blue Fertility Monitor. It was around $100, and it works for people with regular cycles as well. So go with this one, maybe not Ava. So one thing additionally that I do, you guys probably think I'm nuts, but one additional thing that I do some months is the Prove test. So it's PROOV, and it basically detects your progesterone levels. It confirms that you've ovulated. Because I found through the Prove test that some cycles I would ovulate much later, and sometimes not even at all. So with the Prove test, you'll take it 3 to 5 days after you believe you've ovulated, and it's different to where if you get 1 line, it's positive for progesterone, which means everything's good, your progesterone levels are rising. It means that it's confirming that ovulation. If you're, taking that test 8 to 9 days, 10, 11, 12 days after ovulation, and it's still negative, that either means you haven't ovulated yet, or maybe you haven't ovulated at all. So if you do end up getting a negative Prove test, then be that advocate for yourself. Bring that Prove test into your doctor, and try to figure out either whether you have low progesterone and take additional tests, or figure out other ways on how to regulate your cycle. Diet is also really important to fertility. It's something that I've always struggled with, but it's definitely been a focus of mine as of recently. So some of the things that I've incorporated in my diet, one is maca root. Maca root helps balance hormone levels, help regulate everything. It's really boosts your fertility. It's also really good for men too. And you can get maca powder, maybe throw it in some smoothies. You can put some in your coffee. If that's not your thing, they even come in capsules and you can just take them along with your other daily supplements. It is also important to really eat healthy. Of course, if you want to have a donut, once a month, once a couple weeks, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to hold you back from it. But there have been studies that have shown that if you do the fertility diet, it will help improve your chances of conceiving. And the fertility diet is basically pretty similar to the keto diet, I would say. You're cutting back on those processed sugars, so no pop, no ice cream, no alcohol. And for me, I've honestly noticed that since cutting out those things, my skin's better, my PMS and hormones are a lot better as well. And hopefully that's also helping me regulate my hormones to help me better conceive in the long run too. And of course, you got to stay active. There have been many studies where women who are underweight or overweight, they have a harder time conceiving. So making sure that you do maintain a healthy BMI is really important. So, do a yoga class, go for a quick run. Of course, don't overexert yourself. Don't train for a marathon because that would be hard on your body, but it is important to stay healthy and active. And that also de-stresses too, which will in turn help you conceive in the long run as well. Lastly, stay positive, stay calm, enjoy yourself. This is a journey. That's why we call it our TTC journey. You can never say if it's going to happen in the first month or, in the first 6 months or more. So it is important to enjoy life. Don't put your life on hold just because you are trying to conceive. So I do think it's important that you do keep that positive mindset and even have that realistic nature of it's not going to be as easy as snapping my fingers and, I'm going to get pregnant. It is for some, but most it isn't. So I did find a study on thebump.com that I think might paint a clearer picture of the realistic side of it, I guess. So let me pull it up here. So it says a group of 346 women who knew their most fertile days. They knew how to track their CM, which we'll definitely get into other videos. They tracked their ovulation. And that group of 346 women, 36% of them were pregnant after 1 month. 68% were pregnant after 3 months. 81% of them were pregnant after 6 months, and 92% were pregnant after 12 months. So miracles do take time. I know how emotional each month is that you do get your period. Believe me, girl, I've been in that mental space. It is never fun, especially when you are trying to conceive and you want that baby so bad. But it is going to take time. So enjoy the ride. If you do have one of those tough days, talk it over with your spouse. They're there for you to lean on. You're going through this journey together. 8%. So that is all I have for you guys today. Hopefully this was helpful for someone else out there that's going through their TTC journey. I know for me, I'm definitely still learning. So if you guys do have any additional insight on your fertility, tips and tricks that you've learned along the way as well, I would love to hear them. If this was helpful, like our video, subscribe, leave a message below if you want to see additional content. But other than that, take care and see you soon, lovelies.